Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, I want to show you a little trick you can do using Sphere Chalk add-on to create this kind of animations. Okay, so the insects 3D model is by the Japanese artist that I mentioned in the previous video. But what's interesting here is the light that's changing on every frame. And this is actually really simple. I created just these nodes. It's very basic. It's similar to actually RenderMan way to mix light and color. So here in the scene we have 3 points light that I put somewhere, and then I randomize it using Sphere Chalk simply by grabbing the object data and then grabbing the attributes and then applying the number. Okay, so I can make changes very quickly simply by changing the value here. Okay, I actually wanted to show you from scratch because it's very different just showing you this and then doing it. So yeah, let's get started. So file, import the bug. I need to grab the bugs from download folder. Where is it? Insect, and let's use this ground beetle. This bugs is actually really large in scale, so I need to resize the bugs. See, this is the bug, and you can see the scale 106 meters, etc. So I need to scale it. So select the bugs, scale it 0.01, and then F3, origin, set geometry to origin. Okay, and then view, frame selected, so we framing the object, framing the bug, put it on floor, file, save as, bug, light mixer. So maybe I should show you the RenderMan first. Okay, in RenderMan we have neat thing like RenderMan preset, and select category, light rig, and I can use the 3-point lighting, so we can have that very quickly and we can render. That's neat. We can also use the RenderMan tool, light mixer. There's also light linking. This is really cool, but let's take a look at light mixer first. This is how it works in RenderMan. Create a mixer group and then select the light and you add it. Add second light, add the third light. So each light have different attributes, right? Including the temperature. I can change the color of the light, and this is on the fly and it's interactive. I want to do the same using Blender and Sphere Chalk and Cycles or Eevee. It's very cool, very interactive, and this is really what I want to show you. You can turn the light on and off. You can, I believe you can also solo the light, things like that. So stop the IPR. Don't freeze. Okay, it's probably frozen. RenderMan used to do that. I don't. RenderMan tend to do that. Unfortunately, still buggy. So I might need to start from scratch, but I can just grab my version. Okay, file, save as. I'm gonna delete all these nodes. Okay, start from scratch. So we have 3-point light and 1 sunlight. I can just delete everything. We're left with the bug and just darkness. Create just sunlight, just a bit of sunlight is good. Okay, just to get ambience, and then you create point light. So point light, because our object is probably quite large. Yeah, I need to scale it. 0.01. View, frame selected. So it's supposed to be that small. Apply all transform. Yeah, let's start again. It's okay. You can see that this is quite easy to set up later. So create light, point light, point light. So 3-point light to start with. Point light, we can adjust the radius. The larger, I think it controls the softness of the light and the shadow. We could have a floor also, and solidify the floor. Save this very quickly. Okay, we have light and all this kind of shadow. And let's see, we can change the color manually. The thing with the light mixer, of course, we can change the color very quickly under just a single parameter menu. So I wish we can have that. So we can do that using Sverchok actually. So we start by getting the object. So get object data, okay, and then select our light. I just select the three lights. I can also I just didn't select the sun. So we have 3 light, and then we use object ID set. We have selector to filter our selections, but we can just use set for now. Pass in this object, and we can start playing with for example the power. So each lamp have this attribute called power. We just right click, copy data path, paste in here. It's gonna complain object does not have attribute energy. We need to put data dot. Okay, now we can use list input. We have 3 objects here, so list input 3. We're gonna use float, plug this in. Suddenly the light turn off, but I can turn this on one by one, so I can adjust the strength of the light on the fly under a single menu. Okay, so that's the first. Secondly, we pass in the objects, and then we want to control the color, for example. So we use color in. Color in actually have alpha. We're just gonna change this to color, and if we plug this in, it's gonna complain. Okay, the item is 4, it's not 3, so it doesn't need to use alpha. Okay, now you can see I'm controlling all 3 lights at the same time. Okay, cool, right? You can actually use the 3 color like this, and then list join it. So 1, 2, 3, plug this in. Now we can control the color for each of our light. Put this at the back, so that's maybe this is green. Okay, so yeah, 3 light, 3 different color control under a single menu. If you want to have like a more like a control over like the party light, you want to randomize the light, you can use color in, and instead of using this list join color like this, we can just use random value. Random number generator, we want 3 numbers of float between 0 and 1. Plug this into the hue. So you can see here, we have like a party light. It's on the fly and it's interactive. It's very cool. So this now, if you want to further randomize this, for example, you can just add a, for example, like a location and random vector. 3 random vector, plug this in. Scale. You can see where the light is. We can move it. Yeah, so we are offsetting the light, and we're gonna randomize the light that way. So if you want something that's interactive and random, just use a frame info, plug this into the seed, and the seed here. Take a look. We have our setup ready. So with our object here, just just a basic floor, just basic material. This guy is for the bug. You can use metallic, metalness, roughness. Of course, it's not like RenderMan, but still, this is like quite interactive and it's quite nice to be able to do this. I'm using subsurface scattering here, and it's fast, interactive, and you can control basically anything. So yeah, this is the setup. Basically, you can also control the radius. Just keep going here. So the radius, this is the radius. Right click, copy data path, paste it here. It's gonna complain. Just put data dot. And now we can use a value. A number. Plug this here. We can control the radius of our shadow. The larger, the softer. The smaller the value, the harder the shadow. Yeah, so this is the setup. You can see it's really interactive and really fast. You can actually use this and then simply switch to RenderMan. I believe it should still work. So now I'm using RenderMan and RenderMan IPR. The point light might behave slightly differently. I'm adding the sunlight. I think this point light still actually kind of work. Yeah, you can see the color is changing. Sunlight is too strong. I think we might have other object here. Oh, why is it so bright? Because maybe the material. Now it's using RenderMan material. And this point light, yeah, you see, this is Sverchok controlling 3 light. Perhaps I need to change the point light as well, like the radius, using the RenderMan nodes. But now it's completely different. Yeah, I wonder, I think the sun is too strong. Let's delete the sun. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's kind of what I was expecting. So one of the lights still being controlled by sphere choke, or actually the position of the light is being controlled by sphere choke. Yeah, but what I mean is if I stop this, interesting, because Blender is frozen again. Could be because of the RenderMan add-on still kind of buggy. So if you switch to RenderMan, make sure you're not in IPR mode. It's gonna complain. With RenderMan light, it has this different shape. Anyway, if you switch to Eevee, still can render fine. You can be in this mode and also use the reflections and use the scene light. Scene world. Yeah, party time. Alright, so hopefully you find this interesting and useful. It doesn't only work on light. Actually, you can use any objects. You just bring into sphere choke, use get object data, and whatever parameters here, you can just control using object ID set using nodes. And if you want the parameters to go outside, like on here, you can, I believe you can still do that. You just need to turn on to 3D view. I'm not sure if, yeah, so this one to 3D view, and under here, if you can find sphere choke, you can find a number here. So here I'm controlling the radius, softness of the shadow, and here's the least input of the strength of the light. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Hopefully this is useful again. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.